The way they look at you, half teasing, half daring, feels like a challenge you can't resist. But how far are you willing to go to meet it? There's something about the way they're watching you. It's not just curiosity, it's a spark that could ignite into something far more intense. Are you feeling the tension too, or is it just them? Because every word left unspoken, every glance not exchanged, seems to hang in the air, electrifying everything around you. Each time they get closer, you feel like you might explode with desire. But will they make the first move, or will you be left waiting in this silent game? The more they tease, the more you wonder, is it worth the risk to break the silence, to turn the heat between you into something more? The way they move, so effortlessly, yet so calculated. Are they teasing you, or are they silently daring you to take the leap you've been avoiding? The outfit isn't the only thing on your mind. Every step they take toward you, every breath they hold, feels like an invitation that you can't ignore. Do they know how much they're driving you crazy with their silence, their teasing touches? Or are they simply enjoying the control they have over you? There's a pull between you two that feels inevitable, like a force you can't fight, and yet you hesitate, afraid of what might happen if you give in. You feel it, don't you? That unspoken invitation they're pushing you to act, to make the first move, to close the gap that's growing between you. Every time they brush against you, every time they catch your eye, it feels like a test. Are you ready to pass it, or will you crumble under the pressure? You've both crossed a line, but is it too late to turn back? Or are you already too far gone into this game of teasing and tension? With every second that passes, the tension between you grows. It's almost unbearable. But what happens when that tension finally snaps? The way they hold back, the way they keep you guessing, it's all part of the game. But how long can you resist before you break? Every glance, every move, every moment that lingers just a bit too long, it all adds up to something bigger, something you can't quite explain. Is this game of teasing worth the risk, or will it all implode, leaving you both with nothing but the lingering question of what could have been? You think you know how this will end, but the tension between you is growing and the outcome is uncertain. Will you take the risk or stay in the safe zone? You've been waiting for this moment. The look, the touch, the tension. But now that it's here, are you ready for what might come next? Each time they step closer, you feel that spark intensify. It's impossible to ignore now, but the question is, what will happen when you can't resist it any longer? The silence between you speaks louder than words ever could. It's like you're both standing on the edge, daring each other to make the next move. They're not just teasing you with their outfit, they're teasing you with their presence, their touch, their silence, and you're caught in the middle of it. What if the teasing isn't just a game, but an invitation into something deeper, something dangerous, and more thrilling than you ever imagined? With every second that passes, the air around you two thickens. What started as playful teasing now feels like the calm before a storm. Every time they lean in a little closer, you feel it. The tension is real, and every heartbeat brings you closer to the moment when everything changes. You can't escape it. The game has been set, and now you have no choice but to play. Will you take the plunge, or will you be left wondering what could have been? The way they look at you, it's like they know exactly what you're thinking, and they're daring you to act on it. There's something magnetic between you, something pulling you both in, and you both know it. The question is, when will one of you finally give in? You can feel their eyes on you, every glance a silent invitation, and it's like the air is charged with anticipation. But do you dare to make the first move? Every moment you're together, the tension builds. It's a game of cat and mouse, and you're not sure who's chasing whom anymore. They say you can't resist chemistry, but every time they look at you, you wonder if this is something more or just a game you're both playing. The silence between you is maddening, isn't it? You're both waiting for the other to speak. But what if you're both too afraid of what might come next? The way they tease you, it's like they know the exact buttons to push. And the harder you try to resist, the more intense the pull becomes. Their touch lingers just a little too long, their breath just a little too close. And now, every second that passes feels like a dare you can't ignore. You know that feeling when someone's gaze lingers just a bit too long? It's like the air around you thickens, making every moment feel electric. But what if it's more than just teasing? What if the outfit you're wearing is causing an unspoken tension, one that neither of you can deny? It's a game, and you're both playing it with every look. The way your fingers brush against their arm, did they feel it too? That pulse in the air, the silent charge, is impossible to ignore. There's something about that smile. It's a promise. But are they trying to ignite something or keep you guessing? The suspense is unbearable. What if they're secretly daring you to break the silence, to make the first move? But every time you look at them, they only add more fuel to the fire. You can feel their presence like a magnetic pull. Every glance is a secret, a puzzle, and you're dying to solve it. The outfit they're wearing isn't just fabric, it's a message, it's a challenge, and your heart can't decide whether it's racing or slowing down. Every time their lips curl into that smile, it feels like they're saying, "Come closer," but their eyes say, "Not yet." What do you do with that tension? The subtle way their eyes flicker over you, it's not just a look, it's an invitation, but you're too afraid to take the first step. Why? When they move just a little closer and you can smell their scent in the air, does it make you want to pull away or lean in just a little more? That feeling when your heart races at the thought of what's next. But do you dare push the boundaries of what's unspoken between you? It's a dance of anticipation where every glance feels like an unread chapter, waiting for you to take that next step. You're both walking a thin line, and each move they make has you questioning whether it's an invitation or a game you're meant to lose. Their silence speaks louder than words ever could. The pause, the hesitation, it's as if time itself stops when they look at you. Are they really teasing you, or is there something deeper, a magnetic force pulling you both into a web you can't escape? The outfit isn't just clothing, it's a promise, a temptation wrapped in fabric, and you can't help but wonder if they're trying to get a rise out of you. Every inch of their body language sends signals, but you're not sure if you're meant to follow them or wait for them to lead. You wonder if they know the effect they're having on you, or if they're playing the game of teasing, keeping you in suspense and loving every second of it. Their eyes lock with yours, and you feel it, a wave of heat crashing over you, like they can read every secret you've been hiding. Can you keep your cool? When they step just a little too close, the world around you fades. It's as if everything else vanishes, and all that's left is the electrifying tension between you two. Is it just an outfit, or is it an invitation? They're leaving you guessing, caught between desire and hesitation. What's your next move? The air between you two crackles with an intensity you can't ignore. Every shift in their posture, every glance, it's like they're playing a game with your emotions. You find yourself questioning if they're really teasing you, or if this tension is leading to something bigger, something unforgettable. Every time their eyes meet yours, you feel a shift in the atmosphere. It's not just a look, it's a promise of something you're both too afraid to act on. That moment when you wonder if they're playing with you, or if they've been waiting for you to make the first move. Either way, they've got you hooked. The silence between you feels like a magnetic pull, each of you waiting for the other to make the first move. But what happens when neither of you does? You can feel the heat building with each passing second. Are they teasing you, or are they silently daring you to cross the line? Every step they take closer makes your pulse race. It's as if they know exactly what effect they have on you, and they're not afraid to use it. The tension in the air feels thick, almost suffocating. But why does it feel so good? Maybe you both know something the other doesn't, or maybe it's all a game. When they look at you, it's like they can see straight into your soul. But do they want you to reveal your deepest desires? Or are they just playing a dangerous game? You can't help but wonder what would happen if you crossed the line they've drawn with their silence, with their teasing. Will they pull you in or push you away? Every inch of their gaze feels like a puzzle you're desperate to solve. But do you dare to unlock the mystery of what's really behind those eyes? They say silence speaks louder than words. But what if the silence between you two is saying more than either of you could ever admit?